Shannon here with Shannon Sizzlen Stampers, and I'm super excited today to show you a couple of projects for my Healthy Inspirations class that of course we're continuing to do curbside with amidst the pandemic. So today we are going to take this little acetate box, and you'll find this in your kit. In fact, let's go through what you have in your kit. You will have an acetate box. You will have a 9 by 2 inch strip of designer series paper. They're all variety of different Halloween patterns. You will have a 4 by 6 piece of designer series paper. You will have a piece of glitter, black glitter organdy ribbon. Should have a couple little iridescent pearls. A piece of some sort of twine. Some of them are black and white, gray and white, orange and white. You will have a black envelope, a long black envelope. I've pre-cut mine in half, but you have a long black envelope. You will have some little tags, something in kind of this citron lime that says good to the last bite. We're going to stamp good to the last bite, and a tangerine color circle. Open if you dare. You'll either have an orange flower or an orange pumpkin. I'm going to show you a couple different ways to use both of those, but you're only going to have one of the two die cuts in there. And then you have some candy, especially my favorite, these fun little fangs. So with that, we're going to start first with the acetate box. And this is currently comes flat to you, and it's a box. It's a 3 by 3 acetate box designed to, it's a perfect size to put a cookie in, or some small 3 by 3 note cards. But today we're going to turn it into a little bag. So what you're going to do is, with your scissors, this top opening right there, you're just going to follow that with your scissors and cut that top flap and tab off, and just get rid of those. We're not going to be using those. Then you're going to go ahead, and it's pre-scored for you, so you're just going to go ahead and open it up and get it all folded nicely, get it all bent. I find to do this back flap backwards, bend it back to me so I can get a nice crisp fold, because if you try to fold forward, you're not going to get that crisp fold on it. And then like so, and you're going to tuck it in to there. And then I like to come in with my long handled scissors and just poke those little flaps down really well. So now I have this nice little box. Next thing you're going to do is take your standard hole punch. If you don't have a hole punch, you can use a really strong adhesive like a double-sided tape, our Terran tape, glue dots, a permanent seal runner, or even just an ice pick or scissors and poke a hole. Just be very careful. If you have a standard hole punch, that's the best way to go. You're just going to poke your hole punch in there and punch a hole. And to save time, I've already gone ahead and completed that on this box here. So the next step is with your 9 by 2 paper. And you can easily just lay this out and know where you're going, but I thought I would show you another little trick. Oops, mine's going the wrong way, I think. No. So another thing that you can do is you can take and lay it on here, and with a scoring tool, or if you don't have a scoring tool, you can just follow along the edge of your box with your scissors and then lay it over this way from that line you just made, because you don't need to have a perfect line. At this point, we're just trying to get a little bit of a groove in there for folding, just to give you a little bit of scoring ability. Next step is to adhere that on. And if you have a stronger tape or a double-sided tape, that's what I would recommend. I'm just using our seal. You're going to make sure that you have the opening up right, and you're going to just line that up with those little edges that you measured out for the scoreability. And you want it to come down You want it to come down low enough below those holes that you poked in there. Remember the holes that you just poked with the hole punch. So make sure that you line it to come out. And then you're just going to come around the back and just make sure that you've got it on there nice and even. Okay? So that's the second step. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and do my ribbon. And for me, I like to run mine with the knot inside. However, you might want to do it opposite of me, and your knot gives you kind of a little tassel fringe, because it is a very pretty ribbon. So it's not, you know, you got to get it tighter, a bigger knot than that, clearly. But it's not going to be a bad look if you end up having, and I'm going to actually, I'll do one ribbon. You can always use, I'm going to do one, I'm going to knot one hanging on the outside and one hanging on the inside, so you can kind of see the different looks. But just know you're going to need to knot this ribbon 2 or 3 times on each end so that you get a nice big knot. So that's the ribbon on the outside. On this side, I'm going to show you what it will look like if you choose to do your ribbon on the inside. And you can do it whichever preferred method you like better. Again, you've got to go over and over that same knotted area. Just keep pulling to where you're creating that bigger knot. I'm doing 3 times. And if I seriously want to make sure that someone can carry that, I'm probably going to add, well, nope, it's pretty good. So if you go around that 3 times, you've got a nifty little handle. And you can adjust your ribbon length based on the knot for how long you want your ribbon handle to be. Now you see me doing one knot in and one knot out. It kind of twisted my ribbon a little bit, but the handle, but you can come in there and fix it easy enough. So now you've got that done. The next step is simple. You're going to stamp. For me with COVID, I have included this as a free benefit for you, just from me due to COVID, and because it is a community no fee to you class. I've got your Citron tag. Now, it has a nice fun edge, but if you want to take it up a little notch, it says good to the last bite. So I just thought it would be super fun if I made it look like someone took a huge bite out of my tag, and you can just glue that however you want. I seem to, oh, they're there. I like hid my little pumpkin stuff from me. Let me set that there. If you have dimensionals, you can always make it dimensional. Put a dimensional on there if you want. And I am not going to put it on exactly straight. You could also always, you know, use one of your little cut pieces, like a little pieces out of it, like so, if you want a little bit more of the bite filling. And you can always come in with either that flower or the pumpkin if you've got that. For me, I'm going to just go ahead and add this little pumpkin over here. And I'm going to go ahead and pop it up just so you can kind of see the difference if you do have a dimensional. As always, if you want or need some additional paper crafting supplies, you can always reach out to me. I'm going to put that there. And remember those little pearls that we had? I'm going to go ahead and use the edge of my scissors and pull one of those off. And I'm just going to kind of put it up here in the center of this tag. But you could put it wherever. You could put it on the pumpkin or whatever. And then the last thing is to fill it with whatever candy. I've just got some limey green Laffy Taffy here that I'm going to stick in mine. And of course, this is where these so cute, good to the last bite fang candies come in. Now, an alternative to just sticking that in your little bag is, instead of putting the pumpkin on right there, you can always put some heavy duty double-sided tape and put my little In fact, if I do that, I'm probably going to move my little tag over a little bit. And you could put your little bite candy on there as if it's biting through. So super cute project, good to the last bite. Fun way, and I love these little purse handles. If you adhere your knot with a little bit of tear tape or double-sided tape, it's perfect to hang on someone's doorknob. So it's a fun way to leave a treat during this time of COVID where you can still, you know, instead of going trick-or-treating, taking the candy, go trick-or-treat and leave the treat, leave the candy for someone on their doorknob. It'll be a fun surprise. But I just think that's so cute putting the little fangs out on the tag. So that's your first project. The second project is making a gift card holder. And so for the gift card holder, you have a long black envelope. Okay, I've already cut mine and I just quickly cut it so it's not straight. So I'm going to try to even that up just slightly. See how much over I am. But you're just going to roughly cut this in half and you're going to go ahead and seal your envelope. And if you don't want to seal it with your saliva during the pandemic, use some tape or glue stick, whatever. But you want to seal that so that you have a bit of a pocket. Okay, now with your 4x6 piece of paper, what you're going to do is you are first going to cut off approximately 1 inch. I just made some little marks. I'm using my graph paper so I can just cut that. I realize I don't have my trimmer in here. So roughly keep that. You're going to use that later on the outside. Now, I want you to put another inch mark on your paper. And the reason for that is you're now going to go ahead and fold your paper up 1 inch. I think I'm going to fold mine like this. So now you've folded it up 1 inch. Eventually, this is going to end up going into the envelope like so. And, oh, I didn't bring in a gift card, so I'll just use this business card of my friend Nancy. But I would go ahead and I would buy my gift card and I would just stick it right like so. Let's use one of my own business cards. How silly. Huh. Then at least it's in here for the record. So you would just put a little bit of double adhesive glue or whatever, double-sided tape, onto that, okay? Or you can go ahead and tuck it completely down along this edge, like so. Doesn't matter. You can also throw a couple of staples in here if you want. You could put a little bit of adhesive in there. I'm leaving that up to you based on what you want to, what kind of a gift card you want to put in. You can also slide it in like so. It could hold cash. So I didn't want to restrict what size of gift card, whatever, cash money that you wanted to put in here. So that's very, very easy, very simple. And like I say, typically I run a little bit of adhesive up there. Now it's going to be secure. It's not going to fall out if you don't want to glue it in. You adhese these sides a little bit, but I still have that little pocketing. So for our next step, we are going to add a bit of twine, and this is where you need that other piece of DSP. So a couple of things that you can do. I'm going to center my DSP along this bottom edge of my gift card holder. If you had excess ribbon left from this, you could go ahead and take, I don't have my ribbon in here, so let me just cut this. You can make a pull tab very simply with some adhesive. Glue dots is what I'm going to use for this, but whatever adhesive you want, you just put the adhesive on the back side of each ribbon, and you merely put it through like so. Okay, so now you've got a nice little pull tab. And I'm going to show you, you're going to see that I'm going to kind of give you a variety of options. How you end up creating it is totally up to you. Next thing I'm going to do is another thing that you could do with one of your pearls, or you could do the flower. You could put that over your ribbon edge, or you could put a pearl onto the center just to give it a little bit more finish. But I'm just going to go ahead and tuck it in here for the moment, because I want to see where that ribbon pulls at. Now with my twine, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hold a little bit out here, and I'm just going to wrap around, and you will need to test your twine and see. Some of you may have enough if you're really good with your fingers to tie a bow, but most likely you have enough to do a knot. So the other reason to have your little twine go around here is so that your gift card pocket doesn't, the little card part doesn't fall out. So now we've got that. Now you have this tangerine circle. Stamp open if you dare. And we're going to put that, you can put that wherever you want on this. So I think for me, I'm going to kind of create this whole very empty space up in this third here. You guys know how I am. And kind of keep it all happening down at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and use a dimensional. Again, if you don't have a dimensional, just flat glue it. No worries. Here, once again, is where you could come in with either that flower or that pumpkin and add that to your item. Now this one I'm using has caught a little bit of, I need another dimensional to go up top here. I caught a little ink on this one, that's why I'm using this one. Struggling tonight, people. The struggle is real. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and add the little flower, just so I can put that, kind of cover that up a tiny bit. And then I'll come back in with that pearl and drop that in the, drop that in the center of the flower. So that's another way you could do it. Or you could put the pumpkin. Some of it depends on what you like. You could put your little pearls both on here, up here. You could put a pearl there, whatever you want. Now I'm just merely going to come back in. I'm going to trim down that twine just a little bit, like so. And there's my gift card holder. And in order for the recipient to get it out, they'll need to just simply slide the baker twine over and pull it out, and that keeps it all nice and safe. Again, you could always have chosen to put your pumpkin or your flower on the gift card holder. That would be another nice option as well. You could do something like so and put it in there. But that is your gift card holder. Super easy to make. The black envelopes were fun, but you can always make these with white envelopes, because really if you have some decorative paper, you can always put the entire, cover most of your envelope in a decorative paper instead of having the black envelope. Just trying to get it back on there. All right, so that is your 2 projects this month in a nutshell. If you have questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me at my Facebook page, Sizzlen Stamper Shannon Miller, or instant message me. You can always reach me by Gmail as well. If you can't get a hold of me, ask the gals at Health Solution. Courtney and Dawn can help you. Anyway, again, I hope you really love these fun Halloween projects. Bye guys, see you next month.